Welcome to the Nature Hour.
We won't tell you any lies.
Hello, I'm Mick Jones.
Hi, I'm Brendan Benson.
This is the Goatee.
Yeah, I'm Guitar Superamos.
This is Taylor Hawkins from the Foo Fighters.
We're the Subways.
I'm Boyan from the Zootons.
You're listening to Raw.
You're listening to 1251 AM.
Roar 1251 AM.
I love Raw.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Just quickly, was that actually the man from the Foo Fighters just then?
I don't know. Maybe?
Wow, I hope so.
Is it libel if it wasn't? Just pretending?
Yeah, maybe, quite possibly.
Not allowed to libel. Anyway, welcome to the Nature Hour.
The Nature Hour.
My name's Arthur Daintree. His name's Luke Bantock.
Hello.
Mother Nature's back.
By Mother Nature, Arthur means Arthur, because
Hello.
he wasn't here last week. And we had a good show with Nick. But now we've got our regular presenters back, so we're hoping the show will be even better. My headphones aren't working.
Yeah, mine aren't either.
Can you not hear your own voice?
No.
No, it's really bizarre, isn't it?
I'll
That's
take that off
annoying.
then.
No, but you
Ah.
can't hear the music. Alright, so we shall persevere, and if you can't hear us, please email in, because it would be embarrassing if you can't hear us.
Yes, it would. How does one email in, Luke?
Good thinking. On the website, radio.warwick.ac.uk, click on the Contact the Studio button, and then email in, let us know what you're thinking, give us some technical feedback, or give us some information where we don't know the answers to things.
You can also contact us through our Facebook page. Just search The Nature Hour on Facebook and leave things.
There has been some stuff left,
There
and I
has
forgot
been
to...
some
Can you remember what it was? Because I've
Yes.
completely forgotten. Well done.
It was a BBC article. It was a BBC, you know, those tests that they do, where it's like, can you name all of the animals of various states?
Oh, was it?
I got 4 out of 7,
Wow.
which is, I think, which counts as beavering along.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. I didn't get a chance to do it. I'll do it when I go home and see if I can beat 4 out of 7. See if I can beat beavering along.
To be honest, it was worth it for the puns at the end.
Yeah, really.
They was like,
They must have had such fun writing them.
0 to 3 was I'll be damned, damn, beaver damn. Thank you. And and I think 7 was damn good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pierre has emailed in quite a slight logical flaw
What's that?
in that we were saying, if you can't hear us, email in. If you can't hear us, you don't know to email in. Good point, but you did email in, so you can hear us, so all is fine. It's just we can't hear ourselves, which
We're
is a
doing
little
alright.
bit disturbing, but we'll get over it.
Yes. Anyway, along with our regular presenters, we have our regular range of features. We've got A to Z of animals.
We're on T. I've got another dubious one, but you'll see when I say it. Similar to the red squirrel issue, but deal with it. We've got some articles from the internet. Have you got a good one this week, Arthur?
I can't actually remember what it is. Yes.
Yes, the
Yes.
answer is yes.
Halloween
regardless.
themed.
Halloween themed?
Yeah.
Oh, it should have been
Bit late.
gunpowder night. Gunpowder night? What's it called?
Bonfire night.
Gunpowder night. What am I talking about? And then we've got mating and dating tips from the animal kingdom and Articulate. Now, the last 2 weeks we've had someone on the phone. It's been really fun. At the moment, the phones aren't working. There's just no dial tone. So during the show, during some songs, we'll try and figure out how it's gone wrong and how we can fix it. But we're not great technically, so don't get your hopes up, I'm afraid. You might have to just play between me and Arthur, see if we can set a score higher than 7, which is the current top of the leaderboard. Should we start?
Yes.
Who wants to go first?
Who wants to go first? I'll go first. There's not huge amounts to say on my animal.
Good choice then. I mean, there's quite a few on T. Tigers are cool.
Yeah,
Terrapin.
I was trying to get some original information.
Tapir.
Tapir.
That's like a big pig, isn't
pig
it?
with a snout thing. Floppy nose.
I was talking to my seminar tutor about my radio show yesterday, and he had telling him about this feature, and I was saying we're on T, so I've got to think of a T animal, and he proceeded to reel off about 15 T animals. Oh yeah, good point. You've named a lot there. And he said a lot more interesting ones than Arthur's animal. Let's hope you've got some good stuff.
Thanks for putting me under pressure there.
Well, we operate under pressure at the show.
Under
Hit me.
pressure. Okay, my animal is the tortoise.
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 Can you tell me the difference between a tortoise and a turtle?
Turtles have flappy flaps for flapping. Turtles have flippers and they swim around in the sea. Tortoises have feet and they walk around on the land.
Oh, nice distinction. Very good.
Ooh.
Very good.
Crumbs. But yeah, that's the difference between tortoises and turtles. Tortoises are in the Oh no, I deleted it. I always get rid of the Latin
me.
family
I think it makes good radio.
because no one cares. But I was gonna. It's basically tortoises are in the turtle family, which is a bit odd. But
I'll just
whatever.
quickly say my Latin name is Sarcophilus harrisi. So if you could decipher that, you might know what my animal is. There's a clue. Doesn't begin with T.
You're on tortoises.
Sorry.
Like their marine cousins, the sea turtles. This is some mind-blowing stuff. Tortoises are shielded from predators by a shell.
What?
Oh my
That's
god!
so cool. Who knew?
It's like they've got a house on their back. They're like snails. Yeah. You mean you know what a tortoise looks like, so I won't physically.
I did ask you earlier what the difference was, which would suggest that I don't fully know what they look like, but alright.
Have they got feathers?
Yeah. Can they fly?
Sometimes they can fly. Apparently, was it some ancient Greek got killed when an eagle dropped a tortoise on his head. So in some cases,
Really?
tortoises can fly.
That's cool. I thought it was an egg, but
Tortoise.
really
Yeah.
nice.
There you go. Tortoises can be tiny, so a couple of centimetres long, or 2 metres long if they're the giant tortoise.
Those cool, massive old ones.
I'll get onto age later. Actually, frankly, I'll get onto it now.
I thought you were going to say I'll get it on Twitter.
We don't have a Twitter.
We should
account.
set
We're
up a
working on
Twitter
it.
account. We're working on it. It's taken time.
Anyway, tortoises, apparently, according to Wikipedia, there are many old wives' tales about the age
Oh,
of turtles
good.
and tortoises.
These are going to be sweet because they're always wrong.
Yeah, well, basically, they say that you can tell the age of a tortoise by counting the number of concentric rings on its carapace, like a tree.
Like a tree.
So,
Is that not true then?
no.
Oh.
That's a complete fallacy. Since the growth of a tortoise depends on the availability of food and water. So a
that's true,
desert
yeah.
tortoise will be smaller, but
Very young.
potentially old. No, it could
Exactly,
be
but
older.
it looks young.
Yeah. So the desert's good for tortoises. It's like the equivalent of the anti-aging cream,
Yeah, it's
but
like having
instead of a
plastic
cream,
surgery.
you just go to the desert. So yeah, that's some lies for you. But tortoises do live for very long times, comparable to human beings. Although, frankly, the oldest tortoises are older than the oldest human beings at the moment.
tortoise?
There's all sorts of like there's loads of them.
Yeah.
And the Wikipedia article just listed thousands of old tortoises. So I get some
With
of
their
the best
names?
ones.
With their names?
Yeah, one
Like
of them's-
Jeffrey,
one of them-
130.
You say that, but there's one called Jonathan.
He's a character.
Yeah, oh, John. Oh, he may be as old as 178 years
Blimey.
old.
When was he born then? 1830.
8 years ago.
Wow. He's seen a lot. Survived the wars.
He's not seen much at all. He lives on the island of St Helena, which may or may not
Islands.
be. Maybe it might be getting an airport. It's one of the British colony islands. Colony
Islands.
Colony Islands, whatever.
Where?
It's the Seychelles.
The Seychelles.
Ah,
All right.
whatever.
Okay.
But 178 years old. If this is true, he's the oldest living animal on Earth, apart from the ones we don't know about.
Yeah, well, exactly. There's probably a massive whale or a mollusk at the bottom of the ocean. But
But until
170, pretty old.
we find him,
Yeah, that's
John.
true. Jonathan. We're too calls in that. You've got the whole range of names in the whole world to pick for, and you go for Jonathan.
why not?
Yeah,
There's
why
they got a couple of other cool named ones. I can't pronounce them though. There was TU apostrophe I, so
All right.
Tui,
That'll do.
Malila, who
Second
was
name.
yeah, second name. He had a second name. Who was 188 years old. He's dead now.
Oh.
Given to the Tongan royal family by Captain Cook.
That's good of him. Probably already from their island. Probably technically theirs anyway.
It's a present. Thanks, we got those.
Yeah.
But it's from me.
You've seen our garden.
Actually, didn't the British explorers and just people who discovered giant tortoises eat loads of
Well,
them?
I was going to tell this story. I'm not sure if we've mentioned it before, but I thought that they found loads and they always tried to bring them back, but they'd always have really long ship journeys and they'd all get starving and just eat them, and they'd only bring back the shell.
Well, no, it wasn't that they were starving. It was just that
They're
just
really
giant
tasty.
tortoises are delicious.
Really?
Yeah. so they couldn't help themselves.
And they come in their own bowl. There's no washing up. You should chuck it over the side after you've eaten it.
What could be a priceless like animal. So yeah, tortoises old. Also sexually dimorphic, so males are different to females.
Yeah, there we go. That's some. I was thinking about this. Nature Hour. I wouldn't know sexually dimorphic. It wasn't for Nature Hour. Listeners at home, learning that phrase for a pub quiz.
Exactly. Weird pub quiz.
Mm.
What does sexually dimorphic mean? You probably guessed that.
Yeah. Well,
But-
no.
The giant tortoises move very slowly on dry land. More truth bombs. 0.17 miles an hour.
That's like. Did you remember just last week about the sloth? 2 meters in a minute when it's under threat.
Oh no.
Yeah. In slow motion. What did you say? 1 mile an hour?
0.17
1.17 miles an hour.
or 0.27 kilometers an hour.
That's insane. This seems like the sort of animal that's never really under threat. It's not got enough predators.
Wow. You
Oh.
say that, but I've got some
It's like we don't.
interesting-
It's like we planned this show.
But I've got some interesting information. Wikipedia and assorted, nature websites didn't have much to say on tortoises, but I found a tortoise keeping guide.
Oh, this is
Ooh.
gonna be fun.
Yeah, and apparently you got to hibernate your tortoise for reasons, and the domestic fridge is the gold standard for hibernating your tortoise.
Put them in a fridge. Put them in cryogenic. Genesis. Really?
You put, for 3 months out of the year, you put your tortoise in the fridge.
That's ridiculous.
It's like, put it in and hope someone doesn't confuse it
Doesn't
with
chow down on it. Aren't they massive? How big is your fridge?
Well, you don't have. They're not all giant. I said some of them are a few centimeters long.
They're the baby ones, though.
I don't know. Presumably,
Or you buy a fridge for it. For the
you
for
label
purpose.
the Tupperware. You keep the tortoise in, so someone doesn't go, "What's this new red?"
Don't eat alive.
And I said, like you say, tortoises aren't under threat. They have to be kept in a proper container, like a fridge. Can't be kept in a cold shed because they'll be eaten by rats
Oh, that's horrendous.
while sleeping.
What if there's no rats there?
Well, they said vermin, so
Oh, you know, rats. There's
Foxes.
always vermin in sheds.
cats.
Foxes will eat anything.
Nick. Oh. Our housemate does a lot of smoking in our garden shed,
Yeah.
so that's why that joke was funny. You have to explain it.
Yeah, it's probably not funny. Come on.
So that's it. Tortoises. Put them in the fridge when you want to hibernate them. Delicious, massive, very slow.
Or small. All right.
There you go. Tortoises.
No one's emailed in, so I'm guessing no one's cracked my Latin code. The Sarcophilus harisi, the Tasmanian devil.
Ooh!
Why it's controversial is because technically you could say it's a D animal, but no animal's just called devil. So Tasmanian devil is its name. It has no. Doesn't look like the cartoon.
That's a damn shame.
Taz. It doesn't look anything like Taz. That
All
image you've got is
mouth.
wrong. Yeah, all mouth. Walks around on his feet, on his back legs, and spins around loads. That isn't how they operate. They are the size of a small dog and exist now solely on the island of Tasmania. A stocky and muscular build. They've got black fur. Now, doesn't this sound like the sort of animal that you want to keep? Got a pungent odour. They make extremely loud and disturbing screeches. They've got a keen sense of smell, and they're ferocious when they feed.
When they feed.
Ferocious when feeding. You'll hear a little bit more about how they feed in a
I'm
minute.
so up for this bowl of cereal.
Well, listen, they don't eat cereal. They eat everything but. It's got the strongest bite per unit body mass of any living mammal.
Impressive.
I thought it was a hyena, but it's not.
Well, hyena's very fat, presumably.
True. Some quite fun things about Tasmanian devils, though. They store all their fat in their tail. So the fatter the tail, the healthier the animal.
Just got like an anvil tail. Oh man, I'm so
Oh,
overweight.
that's such a good meal. We'll just quickly mention how the eating Or no, won't we? Because that's the gold stuff about Tasmanian devils. We'll just get through some of the other stuff. The tail is important to its physiology, its social behaviour, and its locomotion. Locomotion's forward propulsion, isn't it?
Yeah.
How does it use its big fat tail to generate forward motion? I don't know.
I was just thinking, I can't eat this cake. It'll go straight to my tail.
Moment on the lips, a lifetime on the tail. It's got a scent gland at the base of the tail as well to
Nice.
mark the ground behind it with a strong, pungent scent. Hence why you don't want it as a pet, because that just drags that big anvil tail, wrecking stuff behind it and leaving a horrendous smell. It can generate a downforce of 553 newtons.
It's got downforce.
Yeah, whatever, bite force.
Big front wing.
They'd normally do it in PSI, wouldn't they?
Mhm.
But they haven't. They can generate 553 newtons of power. Whatever. And they can open to 80 degrees.
Crumbs.
Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's only,
Opens
that's
to
not that much. Your mouth opens that much.
Ah.
Arthur's just trying to demonstrate. But they've got enough power to cut through thick metal wire. which is
Like
quite
Jaws.
Like Jaws
James
from the Bond
Bond.
film. Maybe that's what they based him on. They should have called him Devil
Yeah.
or Taz. They have 42 teeth, but these aren't replaced after birth, and they just grow continuously. So a very old Tasmanian devil might have uncomfortably large teeth.
Wow. Like sheep. Their horns just keep going. Sometimes they go into their skull.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
dark. So they've got very long front legs. Which is why they have a biased front body, which you might describe their movement as lopsided, awkward shuffling. That's how they move. If you could imagine someone with a dog with freakishly long legs, short back legs, sort of like Taz. But he is a lot more. He can move a lot faster than the Tasmanian devil. But we'll see how fast they can move as well. It's got whiskers on its face. Apparently that helps to find things when it's dark. Don't understand how that
that's
works.
the function of whiskers.
How do they find stuff when it's dark?
Because the whiskers come out further than their face.
What,
So like
they press their face against an animal and go, oh, there's an animal
no.
there."
They just need something to brush their whiskers, and they know that there's something over there.
No, but foraging. It can aid in detecting when other devils are close by feeding. How? If they just brush their face against another
Well,
one.
because it's like I mean, like,
They cover the span of its shoulder.
okay, so I don't know. Like cats, they use their whiskers to tell
Get
whether
through-
they can
get through
Get through stuff.
Alright.
But I mean, presumably, if their face is low to the ground and they just sit there waiting, and then something brushes, they go,
Sorry. I didn't realise you're another Tasmanian devil.
like an
Sorry.
anglerfish with its
Yeah,
light,
alright,
except their
alright,
whiskers.
maybe. I can't see them sitting still though. They use 3 or 4 dens regularly. Dens formerly owned by the wombat are especially prized. They like the wombat. They chow down on a lot of wombats. You'll see that in a minute. But they change quite often. They change den every 1 to 3 days and can travel a mean distance of 5.3 miles every night, which is quite far. This is unbelievable, this next fact. However, there are reports of an upper bound in one night's travel of 31 miles. 31 miles in one night.
What for?
Just to find a new den.
Shuffling along.
Shuffling along with my freaky long arms and my anvil-like fat tail.
Only after a good meal.
Yeah, 50 kilometres. There's some more hilarious stuff about what happens after they eat a big meal. They can prey on animals up to the size of a small kangaroo,
Wow.
but they're not very fast. So they can only attack. For example, they could only attack a small kangaroo if it was ill, because they can't catch up with it. They favour the wombat because it's easy to eat, because I guess it's really slow. It's got high fat content to get straight in that tail. But they'll also eat is a variety of animals that they'll eat, just being everything. Betong, potoroos, domestic mammals including sheep, birds, fish, fruit, vegetable matter, insects, tadpoles, frogs and reptiles.
Sheep.
And we'll get
Big
onto
meal.
sheep. Widely varied and depends on the food available. They've been known to hunt water rats by the sea and forage on dead fish. Near human habitation, they'll steal, choose and chew on them, but they won't eat them, just for fun.
Alright.
And they'll eat the legs of otherwise robust sheep when they've slipped through shearing sheds, leaving their legs dangling below. Oh, imagine if you were a sheep. Other stuff that they found in devil's excrement includes collars and tags of devoured animals, intact echidna spikes, pencils, plastic, and jeans. They'll eat anything.
A whole pair of jeans. Tasmanian's like, come on, I need that fibre.
Apparently they can dig to forage corpses. In one case, digging down to eat the corpse of a buried horse.
You don't see that in Taz.
That was one of the darker episodes. You don't see this next part as well. They've been known to eat animal cadavers by first ripping out the digestive system and then sitting in the bit they've ripped out and carrying on eating from the inside. Like a sort of horrendous Bear Grylls.
They've watched Star Wars.
Watch Star Wars. You're starting to see why they're called the devil.
Yeah, that's
They're
quite
mental.
offensive.
You know, if anyone's seen Snatch at home, there's a line about how the best way to deal with a body is a pig. I dispute that and say a Tasmanian devil because it can eliminate all traces of a carcass, devouring the bones and fur if desired.
Oh my god.
It just eat anything. Right, I mentioned some last thing about eating habits. On average, devils eat about 15% of their body weight each day and can eat up to 40% of their body weight in 30 minutes. Alright, 40% in 30 minutes. This means they can become very heavy and lethargic after a large meal. In this state, they tend to waddle away slowly and lie down, becoming easy to approach. This has led to a belief that such eating habits become possible due to the lack of a predator to attack such bloated individuals. What an animal!
Oh my
Like a
God.
human. No one's going to eat us when we eat a massive all-you-can-eat takeaway, all-you-can-eat Chinese meal. They should, but they don't, or we
sit
waddle home
Yeah.
completely without any danger. Tasmanian devils, like a human.
Like Epic Meals. Oh,
Right, I think that's all there is on the excellent Tasmanian devil.
I can imagine a Tasmanian devil and a honey badger being great friends
Yeah,
until they attack each
until
other.
they got a bit hungry.
Until they look each other in the
Yeah.
eyes and go, you want
Yeah,
something?
yeah. They're the best mates until one of them insults the other's mother, and then it all goes wrong. Okay, right, we'll play a song because we talked for a long time there and that's going to ruin the whole schedule. But Tasmanian devils are fun, so it's not too bad. Arthur, say number 1 or number 2?
2.
2. Alright, so we've got Casey and the Sunshine.
Email your requests. studio@radio.warwick.ac.uk.
Bill Oddie doesn't have a left hand or foot. They are both always right.
Welcome back to the Nature Hour. Hope you enjoyed that little bit of disco that we just played and Arthur's oddity about Oddie.
Give it up, baby, give it
We're still
up.
struggling to get the phones working. Hang on. Sorry about that, everyone. But please do email into the studio. Let us know. We just had an email from someone trying to advertise something, which got me excited, but it wasn't true. Pierre's emailed in. Want some more emails? Just let us know what you're thinking. Give us your views on the Tasmanian devil or the tortoise or what we're about to talk about. Do that by going on radio.warwick.ac.uk. Click on Contact the Studio. That's about it.
Let's do some articles.
Let's do it. Do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
You go first. I went
All
first
right.
last time.
Mine is about a massive prehistoric bunny.
A bunny.
A bunny. Bunny rabbit. These are not like your normal bunny rabbit because they're massive. Announced the discovery of Earth's biggest known rabbit species, an oddly bunny-like giant named Neuraglagus rex.
Ooh.
King of the hares. I think. 26 pounds, 12 kilograms, 6 times bigger than a common European rabbit. So that rabbit you see bouncing around Cry Fields, times it by 6. You've got the bunny that lives on Spanish island of Menorca. All those
Lives.
jumps. No, it did.
Oh.
Yeah, how disappointing is that?
Because you get giant rabbits, but they're just fat and flop around. I'm sorry, that's true.
They're not 6 times bigger than a normal rabbit, though.
They're like 3 times bigger. Have you seen a giant rabbit? I'll demonstrate for the camera. Like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I need to get one. That'd be fantastic, but they won't be as like this one because you'll hear about this, and it's not like it might be actually. I don't know. So, lived about 3 to 5 million years ago, which would suggest it's not that one. Arthur's still demonstrating how to hold a giant rabbit. If you want to update the webcam to see, it's probably not worth it. It's got a short and stiff vertebral column, meaning it couldn't hop.
Aww.
Yeah, sort of makes, in my head, it doesn't mean it's a bunny rabbit. And the small size of sense-related areas of the skull, it had small eyes and stubby ears. Not like a normal
So
rabbit.
it's not really a rabbit at all.
This is my favourite. This is a quote from the man who found it, whose name was... where's his name gone?
Ah.
Well, he's just got one. Oh no, Josep Quintana. I just thought his name was Quintana, study leader. It's just, I think the NREX, which is the short name of it, would be a rather clumsy walking rabbit. And then he's given us a wonderful simile. Imagine a beaver out of water. Ungainly. Flopping around. So that's what it was like. Despite its oddities, NREX has many skull and teeth features found in rabbits, meaning there's no question it's a rabbit. Arthur,
Okay.
take that back.
Ah.
Brian Kratz, an expert in rabbit evolution at the Western University of Health Sciences in California. This is a rather typical rabbit head, stuck on an atypical rabbit body. Even though earlier they did say that it had small eyes and stubby ears. But whatever. The newfound rabbit's roly-poly tank-like appearance, roly-poly and tank-like appearance, and weird anatomy may have arisen because of its stress-free lifestyle. Like the
Tasmanian devil after it's had a meal.
does it look like the rabbit out of Wallace and Gromit and the were-rabbit? Someone's emailed in. I can't remember.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, isn't the rabbit in the Curse of the Were-Rabbit just a rabbit?
I don't know. It's been a while.
Well, all I remember is the bunny vacuum.
All I can do is describe it as best I can, and then you'll have to tell me whether it looks like it. So it had a stress-free lifestyle, and it had no predator. The mega rabbit had no predators in Minorca, a luxury that allowed the species to evolve to be bigger and more sedentary. Whereas, a rabbit these days, these rabbits are really fast, really paranoid, understandably, because dogs always want to chase them. It was probably on an evolutionary vacation, says Kratz, an island beach bum. But even though it didn't have too many cares or worries, got too comfortable and went extinct because it evolved itself out, basically. It got too fat, it couldn't deal with it anymore, and died out.
I should eat, but my arms are just so
I'm
lazy.
so comfortable. Well, apparently the were-rabbit is a huge rabbit. Did it have small ears and small eyes? And was fat? Was it tank-like, roly-poly, and moving like a beaver out of water?
When they say tank-like, do they mean caterpillar tracks and a gun?
Gun.
Or do they mean tank is in a water tank?
I think they mean tank as in slow and big. More than that, I don't think the simile holds up too much.
Yeah.
Probably not.
It doesn't hold much water. Not like a water tank.
What's a water
Boom.
tank?
The big thing.
Oh, right, where you hold water. I see.
Yes. Well done, Arthur.
Izzy sent me in a picture, but we haven't got the internet. So I don't know if that's... We're just going to say the were-rabbit in Wallace and Gromit and the Curse of the Were-Rabbit is a giant mega bat rabbit like the one they found on Minorca. That's what the film was based on.
There we go.
Fact.
Big mega rabbit.
Mega rabbit.
Anything else to say on the mega rabbit?
No, just that it was a beach bum.
That's all you need.
They lay into this animal in this article. Stupid fat animal.
Scientists got no time for laziness.
Right, go on then, Arthur. Hit me up with a story.
Ideally, we'd have some Halloween music. We don't have time for that, do we?
You start to tell.
Okay. Picture the scene.
Drag it out, and I'm trying to find something.
I'm dragging, Luke. Okay. So a whale has died. A majestic whale has fallen to the bottom of the ocean instead of ending up on a beach and exploding and covering everyone with whale blubber, because sometimes that happens. Anyway, so a whale's on the seabed, and things are eating it. It's being torn apart by
Keep
things.
going.
Everything's eating it. It's scary. It's dark. You can't see in front of your face. All you can hear is the crunching sound of things eating whale bones, etc. If you could smell underwater, which you can't.
I tried to find a scary song.
Oh,
It doesn't exist.
okay, well, I'll give up then.
Yeah.
Basically, my article is titled Zombie Worms.
Oh,
Zombies.
there's loads of zombie insect things like that. But go on.
Oh, zombie worms. Basically, they don't actually. It says traces of zombie worms have been found in a fossil, so they don't actually exist now. But it's still cool.
Hang on. A lot of questions. So these zombies are dead.
Yes.
That doesn't mean they're zombies.
Well,
Dead humans, dead
these-
insects.
We haven't found. Actually, no, they had a picture of them, so they must be around. But basically, it says traces have been found on a 3 million year old fossil. So presumably, these zombies have been around for ages.
What? No, but how are they zombies?
Because they eat bones.
That doesn't mean they're zombies.
It says zombie
Tasmanian
worms.
devil's a zombie then.
It says zombie worms in quotation marks.
Oh dear. Where did you find this?
BBC.
Damn you,
Anyway,
BBC.
yeah. Zombie worms, or this is nice. This is a nice name. The bone-eating snot-flower worm.
Oh, that's cool. Where's this going?
These zombie worms have been found feeding on whale skeletons on the bottom of the sea, using their root-like tissue to bore into, to sort of drill through the bone and eat it up.
That feels sensationalised, but we'll put the picture on the Facebook group, and we'll put a picture of giant rabbit stuck up against the were rabbit, just to go back to where we were, and you can make your own comparisons, and we'll see whether it's a fair homage to the giant rabbit. Is that your article?
To be honest, there's no. The article looked fun, but basically all it is they found a fossil with lots of holes drilled through it, and they were like, "Oh, what is this?" And it turns out it's zombie worms.
That feels like a fundamental misunderstanding of what a zombie is. Lots
Scientists.
of stuff. I suppose scientists don't have much truck for zombies.
They didn't get out much. Yeah, basically, worms drill through whale skeletons
Brilliant.
for nourishment. Zombie worms.
Not zombie worms, right? Stopping this now. Just worms.
All right.
All right.
Sea worms.
Sea worms eat bone.
That's it.
What a letdown.
I'm sorry. I wasn't a mega rabbit.
Yeah. You can't all do the research as well as me. I've spent so long looking for stuff.
Last night at
Commitment to the show.
about 11
No,
o'clock.
in the day yesterday,
Oh,
4 o'clock.
well done.
Thanks.
Well, I was working. So.
All right. Okay, right. We'll play a song because we didn't have very long articles today. And then when we come back, we'll have mating and dating advice from the animal kingdom and hopefully some phones, but don't get your hopes up.
Choose the tunes on your Raw.
Email your requests studio@radio.work.ac.uk.
12:51 a.m. It's fit as.
Bill Oddie does not get frostbite. Bill Oddie bites frost.
Welcome back to the Nature Hour. Apology for the slight technical issues that we've had. Some mics going on when they shouldn't, some songs not sarky when they should. We're having a bit of trouble. Ever since those phones have broken, we've been flustered, but we shall persevere. I don't think the phones are going to work today, so what's going to have to happen is me and Arthur are going to play Articulate between the two of us, and then next week we'll get the person who we were hoping to get on to have a go next week. So hopefully, I apologise for that because I know it's our favourite feature.
Mm-hmm.
It's very sad that it hasn't happened. But should we kick off with our next feature? Keep emailing in because I really enjoy getting the emails.
What we could do, if people were really, really quick at emailing in, would be to read out the Articulate questions and have people furiously type in.
And then the winner is who gets it first.
The winner's just whoever gets the most right.
But
They,
what if everyone gets it right?
well, then everyone's a winner.
All right. If you want to play that, email in, because we need some popular support, because we could just be shouting these clues out and no one emailing it. So if you want to play the game like that, let us know and we'll see if we can make it work. But first, we've got our next feature.
I just like the idea of the email thing,
Yeah.
streaming in with like
Emails.
archaeologists.
Wrong.
No.
Alright, so are you ready to start the feature?
I am. Ooh. Gotta get in the mood. Wake up. It's time. That's
Yeah.
up the weekend. Ooh.
It's Friday morning. It's 10:42. Contact say apparently the contact page is too slow. People shouting outside.
Friday morning.
Contact page is too slow to play. Articulate.
I like to take it slow.
Yours, as is always asked in this feature, is yours how to find a mate or what to do once you get a mate?
What to do once you get them in the bed?
Glorious, because mine's how to find a mate. And it's another stupid bird.
Oh.
So, where's my article gone? Live fast, age fast. At least if you're a male Habura bustard.
Ooh.
Male Habura busters listening at home. Performing long courtship displays, losing sperm quality faster than males that don't put on elaborate seduction shows.
Seduction.
The sheer energy required to keep up marathon performances eventually takes its toll on the sperm production of the flashy males, which start out healthier, with healthier, more robust sperm than their humdrum rivals.
Don't talk about those humdrum rivals.
In their North African habitat, male Habura busters perform long displays to attract females up to 6 months out of the year. They keep it up for several hours in the day.
Gotta keep
Perform
it up.
more often, while others invest less for their resources. Sorry, anyone. Now, we're getting to some technique. After strutting for a while, a male erects an ornamental shield of long white feathers and then runs at high speed, often circling a rock or bush.
Run around that rock.
The show climaxes in a flash of black and white feathers, several booming calls so deep they're almost out of their age of human hearing. The female's going to select a mate that runs more laps, while taking fewer and shorter breaks. Endurance.
Gotta keep up that endurance.
Oh my goodness. Keep it together. Alright, basically, let's get serious. If you're a human, the gist is dance. Dance like nobody's business.
Run around something
Run
really
round.
fast.
Be athletically pleasing. Create a shield of feathers. Issue some booming calls so deep that people can't deeper, Arthur. I don't think you've got it in your range.
Gurgle at your prospective mate.
For several hours in a day. There's some other stuff about this animal which is basically about something to do with putting on shows for longer reduces their sperm quality, but that's not fun. It's just boring science. The gist, the important stuff: ornamental shield, run at high speed around a rock or bush, climax with a flash of black and white feathers and booming calls. Your partner will select you the more laps you do and the fewer and shorter breaks. That's how mating should work. Science. Just on pure numbers. The longer you go for... Ooh.
The ladies love statistics.
Or the men. Just because it's always the men doing stupid stuff on mating and dating
12
advice.
laps of that,
Yeah.
bro. Did you see me?
Went all the way around those two. Guy next to me only did 10.
Couldn't even flash that.
Yeah. Didn't even have a good shield.
Couldn't stop anything with that shield.
Right. So you found your mate.
Oh.
You run around that rock a lot. slightly tired. Arthur, what do you do?
Get that sweaty body into the bed.
Oh no, I might have to turn your mic off. What do you do, Arthur? Keep it clean.
That's impossible.
Look at the
Honestly,
picture.
if
What's
you-
the point?
If you want it to be clean, I may as well just say, be very respectful and have a lovely time. But that's not what the paper
This
says.
is not what this feature's about.
No, it is not. Anyway, okay.
What animal are we talking about?
The banana
The
slug.
banana slug. Going through slugs again.
Sorry, people who aren't asexual.
Yeah. Is
'Cause
this another
the-
asexual one?
Yes, it is. Well, sort of hermaphrodite animal. So for all those non-hermaphrodites out there, I promise next week I will
Also,
have
we will
relevant.
try and make this tactic relevant to the human. I hope.
Please don't try this.
Really?
Please don't.
All right, I'm excited. Hit me up.
Okay. The banana slug. First thing you need to know about the banana slug: they have an enormous penis.
Oh.
In fact, their Latin name, I won't bother trying to say it, but their Latin name translates to giant penis.
Really?
Yes, it does.
Now, are we allowed to talk about this at 10 to 11 on national radio?
It's love and time. Talk about anything.
Yes, we are. Come on then.
Okay, so the giant banana slug penis is the same length as their body. Been there. Ooh. Banana slug 6 to 8 inches long.
6
Banana
to
slug-
8 inches.
Banana slug penis
9.
6 to 8 inches long.
That's ridiculous.
So basically, you get your 2 slugs after having slithered around a rock, displayed their
Probably
non-feathers.
once because it would take a long time.
Still impressive.
Yeah.
Still impressive. Because it's all about endurance. So you get your 2 slugs, both hermaphrodites, both have massive penises.
How do you decide, Arthur?
Basically,
down.
what happens is to mate properly, the slug's got to have a mate the same size as it, otherwise it won't fit.
How do they find out?
Well, they just go for it, and if it doesn't fit, penis gets stuck. Oh baby, I'm
What
stuck
happens
inside
then?
you.
No,
I'm stuck.
God, stop.
The other slug will bite off the stuck penis. The end. Goodbye.
When you say that, keep going.
It's called apophilation, which basically means if you're stuck, bite it off,
And then be done with it.
and then you're done.
That's
Wham,
awkward.
bam,
That's
thank
an
you,
awkward
ma'am.
morning.
What have you done? You were stuck.
You know how we roll. You should have measured us up better. What if it's too big and it goes to someone who's too small?
Then
Stuck in there.
the one that's too small has to chew it. Get rid of some
That is
length.
such a stupid way to operate. Humans at home, we try to make these relevant to humans. Don't ever do this. It doesn't matter if people are different sizes.
No such thing as too big or too small.
Oh my god. Right, we've got to we'll draw a line to this feature because it's got lewd. Is that your article?
Yeah,
finished?
that's it.
I'm
I'm sorry.
That was good fun. I enjoyed it. Marvin Gaye, thank you very much. We've got a song, Chromeo, Needy Girl, and then when we come back, we'll have to play Articulate between the two of us. We'll try and set a high score between the two of us, and then next week we'll get other people on the
Go to radio.warwick.ac.uk/listen.
This is Raw.
Hello, welcome back. We've got 6 seconds until we start playing Articulate because we ran out of time, so we're playing Articulate. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so big lizard swims around in the river.
Crocodile,
not
alligator.
Not an alligator.
Crocodile.
So you got that. I'm unemployed and I have a
Mullet.
Yes. Opposite of cat.
Dog.
Yes. Not opposite. Clings to rocks in the sea.
Mollusk.
Yes. Oh god, it's upside down. It's it's very thin. Swims around in the sea.
Eel.
Like a pancake. Something
stingray.
as a pancake.
Flatfish.
Yes. Oh god, I've taken loads. They live on the coast. They make a really
Seagull.
horrible noise. Seagull. Yep. One of the animals that I could have done today, but
tapir.
but with
Tiger.
big fangs.
Leopard. Saber-toothed tiger.
Yes. What horses eat?
Hay.
Yes. One more. The male deer.
Oh, it's too late. Didn't get it. Stag. I wouldn't have got that quick enough anyway. No. Right. Whew. How many's that? Count that up. Sorry, we had to. After count that up, I'll just say our thanks and our goodbye. Sorry, we overran on the old mating and dating tips, so basically everything's just gone out of sync. So you're listening to the Nature Hour on Raw 12:51 AM or radio.warrior.acu.uk. The show's about to end. Thank you for listening. Arthur, what score did I get? 8. Boom! Top of the leaderboard.
Well, other than
No, but the leaderboard's been restarted since you got that 10. Top of the leaderboard. Thank
you
you.
need to make sure these cards are in the right order, like they're not upside down, because otherwise it
That's-
throws me right off.
Throws me right off my game. Well, deal with it. Right, so thank you very much for listening. Tonight we'll find out if we've got a new show. We might be on a new slot next week, or they might have banned us completely. Hopefully not. Sexual healing might have been a mistake. We might have pushed it too far. We'll see. Check the schedule for when we'll be on, if we are on again. We're hopefully for this same slot because we both quite like it, but who knows. Other than that, that's about the end of the show, isn't it, Arthur?
Yeah.
Say
Thank you for
goodbyes.
listening.
Thank you very much for listening.